Okay, so I feel that I need to preface this video because, as I said earlier, I didn't film it with the intention of anyone actually watching it, so it might seem like weird and out of context. I also wanted to say that my intention here is not to expose or cancel Anastasia or Lexity on Instagram. Because for one, I don't like cancel culture necessarily. I don't think it's super productive, unless someone has done something so terrible or unethical or illegal, or someone who continues to mistreat people without taking accountability, and that's not necessarily the case here. I feel comfortable posting this because she already took accountability, like, publicly and privately, and she gave me permission to post it. So I'm sort of using the leverage of all the curiosity that I imagine her followers have about what happened to jumpstart something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I've wanted to do YouTube videos for a very long time, and I've gained like 80 followers in the last week, which isn't a lot, but it is to me. And like there's 80 new people that are seeing what I do and might be curious about the situation because people are nosy, and this is like drama or tea or whatever. So the other thing I wanted to say was, this is like super candid and I'm talking about some pretty heavy topics, so trigger warning for that. And also, the energy shift from this preface to the actual video is going to be kind of significant because I was not in a good state of mind and I was very tired when I filmed it. So and then I think the last thing I want to say is thank you to people that, like, especially my friends and family that are supporting me and following me, like subscribing and liking my video and commenting, and just showing support, because I never thought anyone would actually give a shit. I was gonna post it anyway, but I didn't think people would care, and like some people care, so that's cool. The last I checked, I had like 16 subscribers, which is kind of neat to me. Like, obviously that's nothing, but that's still 16 people that are like curious and seeing what I post next. So yeah, I don't quite know how to like end a video or transition without being awkward yet, so bear with me on that. And yeah, thanks for sticking around. So it's been about a month since I recorded myself talking. I didn't watch the entire last video that I recorded because it went on for 20 minutes. I was talking about feeling like I was going through a mild psychosis, and I think I was talking about physical therapy and just kind of losing it. I ended up going on a medical leave because I was sort of spiraling with the post-concussion stuff, and I needed like time off of work to get out of that spiral, to continue to make progress and to continue being able to do the physical therapy. So much has happened since then. Obviously I got a haircut that I'm unsure about. The medical leave was good, but being stuck at home is like not good for my brain. Like, even though I needed a break and I was definitely experiencing burnout for a long time, not being occupied wasn't good for me. I feel like so much time has passed since then. And today, specifically, I'm in a really scary state of mind. Really scary state of mind. I got involved with a person that is online. I followed this person because I thought they were very attractive and interesting looking, and their videos were like very soothing to watch. And they posted a video of themselves like in crisis mode, and they needed someone there for them, and disclosed that they were in Southern Oregon, which I hadn't known about. I didn't realize they were so close to me, like they could have been anywhere. And so I reached out and I was like, hey, like, I can be that hug that you're looking for, because I want to help people. And I've been there. Like, we've all been there. And I think we've all felt alone. And sometimes just having a person to say that they are there for you makes all the difference in the world. So I met this person in a public location. We had dinner. I was quite nervous because I've never met like a public figure, you know. Obviously, there's a power dynamic happening there. And I am pretty good at refraining from developing like parasocial relationships. Like, I watch people online, but I don't really like allow myself to become attached to them. So I felt like it was fine because I was just seeing this person as a person that just needed help. And we hit it off pretty well. Like, we were obviously both into each other, which was exciting for me because I've been spending a lot of time yearning for a partner and like creating a picture in my head of what this partner would be like in a physical sense and also in an emotional sense and in intelligence wise. And she like hit the nail on the head with most of it. Which made me feel like it was meant to be. My problem is that in the past I've become very anxiously attached to people and like unhealthily codependent very early on, either in an emotional sense or like out of survival, like for a place to live. So I'm at a space in my healing where I understand the importance of being self-sufficient. It's very, very important to me, because if you're like so reliant on someone in such a way that you cannot live by yourself, then you're fucking screwed. Like, if something goes wrong and you guys break up, you're fucking screwed. And it's really hard to pick up the pieces from that. And I've already done it so many times, and I have held a full-time job during those times, and it's been some of the hardest shit I've ever done. I don't want to go through that again. I don't know how many more times I can go through a crisis and like keep my job, because if I don't have my job, I don't have a house, I don't have a car, I don't have a phone, I lose all my belongings, I lose my pets, potentially have to move back to Arizona, which is a really depressing thought for me. So yeah, like, I need to feel like I can be independent from the person that I'm dating. At the same time, I understand that I am putting up walls that are making it impossible for me to attach to people. Like, I try, but I don't really know what I'm doing, so it's like I went from one extreme to the other. I went from anxious attachment to avoidant attachment, I think. I'm not an expert on any of these subjects, but that's what it feels like. And like, both of those are terrible and not fair for the other person. But I don't know how to work on it outside of being in a relationship, if that makes sense. Like, the anxious attachment, I was able to work on outside of a relationship, because all I needed to do was be self-reliant and able to self-soothe, and like support myself. But the avoidant attachment, it's like I feel like I need to have a person to work on this with. I don't know how to work on allowing myself to become attached to someone without a person to, I don't want to say practice on, but like essentially practice on, which is not fair either. Like, that person doesn't deserve to be my practice run. So how do I work on this thing? Like, obviously therapy, I'm going to therapy, but it's quite a slow process, and I have a lot to work on. I have old trauma, I have extreme anxiety, and I have this attachment shit. I can't work on all of that at once, and I just want to be loved like everyone else. Like, I being in love and being in a relationship has always been like my favorite part of life, and to have someone like so perfect come along and me say, no, I'm not fully healed, so we can't do this. Am I ever gonna be fully healed? Is anyone ever fully healed? No. You work on it as it's happening. So this person that I met, think we were both very vulnerable and unprepared for what was going to happen, and for the feelings that we were going to have for each other. And it sort of went south, like partially my fault and partially their fault, partially just too intense. You know, in my head, when I think about a healthy relationship, you guys become friends first. You become really good friends first, and you learn about each other. And then you start to see what it's like to build up a partnership after that. So that you build like a healthy foundation, but this was very far from that. It was like instant love. And I don't know if that's actually possible. I don't know. She was very triggered by my attachment style. I wanted time. I wanted to get to know her. I just kind of wanted to exist with each other. Like, let's, you know, go out and do fun things. Let's watch movies together. Let's hang out. Let's not become so, like, crazy attached right from the beginning. Let's build this slowly so that I don't crash and burn, and so you don't crash and burn. But that was like very triggering to them, just because of past relationships they've had. So like my past relationships and their past relationships were very conflicting, and we were very triggering to each other. And so it sort of blew up in my face in a very, very scary way. And I can tell myself all I want, that I will not tolerate being mistreated. But when it actually happens, there's a part of me that likes it. Like, I genuinely fantasize about being abused. Which is so fucked. I don't know if it's because I feel like I deserve it, or if it's just really familiar to me. It's really attractive to me to be submissive like that. But like, there's ways to fulfill that without actual mistreatment. So yeah, I did something a little bit incorrectly. I was sort of panicking myself, which is shitty because I've been panicking for like a week straight, and this person had been putting up with that shit, and I didn't really want them to. I didn't want them to leave because we were spending a lot of time together. I didn't want them to leave, but I also did. Like, I knew that I needed space, and that they needed to have space from me, because like, having someone that's in a panic attack 50% of their day sucks. Like, nobody wants to be around that. I get that. And nobody wants to have to console that person all the time. Hence why I feel it's really important for me to be able to get through panic attacks myself and be independent and self-soothing. I lost where I was going. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I was having a panic attack because I was trying to eat food, and it's been very, very difficult for me to eat food ever since I got into a relationship with this person. I've been so incredibly anxious about the whole thing that I haven't been eating very much. And every time I look at a piece of food, I start to shake, and it takes me like 2 hours to finish the thing. So yeah, I was freaking out, and they started to have an insecurity. They asked me, or they told me that they were really scared to lose me, and asked me what my fear was, or what my fears were. And I wasn't even thinking about them in that moment. Like, they said they were scared to lose me, and based on knowing about their past, I should have consoled them and said, "You're not going to lose me." But I did not do that. I just answered their question. I told them that my fear was that we became anxiously attached to each other. And that was the absolute wrong thing to say and do. It triggered something extremely scary in this person. And they were drinking alcohol, which frightened me when I learned that they would be drinking that night, because they had warned me that they were an alcoholic. So I was already a little bit worried, and they blew up. And it was very, very reminiscent of ways that I've been blown up on before. Like, to a T. I was having like flashbacks to one of my previous relationships. It felt just like it. And again, a part of me liked that. That was appealing to me. But also, like, most of me fucking hated that shit. It did not feel good. I tried to console them. They explained, like, why what I said was triggering, and I, was like, I get it. I said the wrong thing. I should have known better. I was in a bad state of mind myself. Next time that comes up, I'm going to do better. But they kept getting caught in a loop where I would say this, they would feel better about it and apologize and say they're sorry and that I'm fine, it's okay. And then they would circle back around to that idea and get really, really angry again. To the point where they were screaming in my face, screaming across the room, screaming in my face, stomping around, stumbling around because they were so drunk, leaving and then coming back. I was very scared, but I did better than I thought that I would ever do in that situation again. I was able to kind of, I mean, I know I was dissociating, but I wasn't like dissociating fully into little girl mode, you know, like normally I would switch into little girl mode and like completely break down, but I was like, no, you have nobody right now. I lost my best friend in the process of forming a relationship with this person. So the person that I normally go to when I'm panicking so badly that I can't help myself, they were not an option. My roommate was sleeping. It was late. So I needed to figure this shit out myself, and I did. I told myself that I was safe with myself, and that their actions are not my fault. Like, yes, I triggered them, but screaming at me and acting this hostile and like demeaning me is unacceptable, and I do not deserve that. So while I was like not in a good state of mind, I also wasn't panicking as much as I thought I would. So I'm proud of myself. Yeah, but today feels unreal. I feel like I'm in a dream right now. I don't feel like I'm in reality. Eating was a little bit easier, but I only ate like one thing today. 2 things. Had goldfish, a couple handfuls of goldfish, a quarter of a protein shake, and fries. But yeah, I don't feel real, and I want to forgive this person because they admitted what they did wrong. I've tried to admit what I did wrong. I'm not sure if from their perspective, if I did a good enough job. But like, regardless of that, I really, really don't feel that I deserved to be that scared. And I really want to forgive this person, because I think nothing's ever black and white. People that hurt other people have been hurt themselves, and they're often very lost. And they're often very cool people. You know, I don't really connect with people that haven't been through some tough shit, because I've been through some tough shit. So yeah, I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do. I miss her. When it was good, it was so fucking good. And that's how it always is with my toxic relationships. It's like, it's all I ever want until something blows up, and then it's like my worst nightmare. So yeah, I don't know the point of any of this other than to say that I really want to feel like I'm living in reality again. I really want to feel like myself again. I do not feel like myself today. I do not feel like myself today. And I really want this person in my life, even though that's probably a really terrible idea. I don't know the answers. I know that people who care about me are gonna tell me to fucking run. But they're just concerned about my safety, obviously, like, naturally. Okay. I think this has devolved enough. I don't know, like, I don't know what else I could analyze at this point. So